Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's yoga class. I hope you're all well. If you'd all like to get yourselves into a nice, comfortable seated position, so just gently crossing the legs, lengthening through the spine. And yeah, just begin by just rolling your shoulders a couple of times. Really like to kind of get ourselves into just a nice, relaxed sort of place before we get started. And then maybe rolling the shoulders in the opposite direction as well. And then just gently release and drop the shoulders away from the ears, ever so slightly tuck your chin in, just so the crown of your head is pointing towards the sky or the ceiling. And then I invite you all to just gently close your eyes. As you close your eyes, let's just begin now by arriving. Arriving just allows us to get a familiarity, a sense, and an awareness of the space that we're in. So just for a moment, take your attention to the space outside of you as you have your eyes closed. So this is sort of getting you to use your other senses other than your eyes visually. And I just want you to pick up on any sounds, any smells, the temperature. And as you pick up on those things, I just want you to just observe with a sense of objectivity or being a bystander, a witness. So not really sort of forming any judgment. Just taking a moment here just to maybe observe. Maybe there's complete stillness. Maybe there's some noise or smell, or you can feel real warmth in the room. Just gently notice it. Then I'd like you now to, from there, take a step in and let's go within. And as we go within, we're coming to the whole body, to the mind and the body as one, really connected the two. And just seeing how we're feeling this evening. Maybe just asking yourself, how am I feeling? As you ask yourself that question, I just want you to see how the mind and the body respond to that question. So just taking a moment here. So see if you can take a whole body awareness feeling. Can you feel your whole body in this? So the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the torso, pelvis, legs and feet. As you feel the whole body, does anything sort of come up? Is there anything sort of niggling? Is there softness? Is there stillness? Is there tightness? And if there is, you should just gently notice and pinpoint that for a moment. Okay, and then now acknowledge it's there, whether there's softness, tightness. Can you accept that's there? I don't want you to hold on to it now. I want you to just release and let go if you can. Do that by taking your focus and your attention just for a moment to your sitting bone. We're just going to do a little grounding exercise just to bring us to here and now. So just feeling one sitting bone to the next, maybe ever so slightly gently swaying whilst you're here. As you gently sway, maybe at the same time, if you've got your hands on your knees here, just feel the light, gentle press of the hands and the fingers on the knees. Maybe just feeling the warmth as well. And just noticing the feet gently pressed against the ground as well. Okay, and then coming back up from the feet up to the pelvis, just noticing the spine. And just notice how the spine is stacked on top of the pelvis. So hopefully you're sitting sort of nice and tall and relaxed at the same time, moving up one vertebrae by vertebrae at a time. As you move all the way up the spine now, start to feel length in the body, start to feel height. That length and height, you may even start to feel a slight lightness, but also maybe a sense of openness, which is what we're really going to be working towards in this evening's class. So coming all the way up to the back of the rib cage, and then maybe to the heart center, the heart space. So I'm going to be doing quite a few heart opening poses today. So with the changing of the season, moving from sort of darkness into light, we're going to allow that light to shine into hearts with our heart opening poses. And then coming up to, from the chest and the back, up towards the neck, and then towards the crown of the head. And then just from the crown of the head, just imagine there's like a sort of rope or there's a string attached from the ceiling holding your head. Allow the eyes to roll back into their sockets, relax the creases in your head. And just gently relax the mouth. Then taking your focus and your attention now to the nostrils, to the nose. Start to inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. And I want you now just to notice your breath. Notice the rhythm and the quality here and now. Just spending a few moments with it. How is your breath this evening? So the breath can say quite a lot about our state. It can also say a lot about our central nervous system. Is the breath steady and calm? Or is the breath a bit fast, a bit shallow, a bit tender? Now I want you to notice as well, as you observe your breath, are you primarily breathing into your chest space? Or can you notice you sending your breath down into the belly? Whatever you notice, that is okay. We're going to try and send our breath down into the belly space. So maybe placing both your hands on your belly now. Take a deep inhale, send that breath down into the belly, fill it up. Deep inhale, and then on the exhale, that belly naturally and gently draws in. So the navel draws in. Deep inhale, belly gently moves out. As you exhale, the diaphragm draws in and up. Inhale, the diaphragm lowers the belly. Exhale, the diaphragm. Spending a few moments here now, just observing this belly breath. Again, is another way just to ground and center ourselves. We're using that breath as an anchor to. Just noticing as well, whilst you're here with your breath, just observing if the mind sort of quite steady, if the mind is wandering, is it urging you to do anything other than this breathing exercise? Deep inhale into belly, belly comes down. Deep exhale, the belly gently draws. Okay, so just gently now coming back to a place of center. And I just want you to observe the inner environment for a moment here. Just breathing naturally. And then I want you to take your focus and your attention to your heart space. And maybe visualize a glowing ball of green energy that's pulsating. And as it pulsates, the light gets brighter. It starts to expand. With that brightness and expansion, I just want to set a couple of affirmations for you all for the class. I release and let go of all resentment. I live in harmony with all beings. I direct love and light towards myself and others. I release and let go of all resentment. I live in harmony with all beings. I direct love and light towards myself and others. One more time, I release and let go of all resentment. I live in harmony with all beings. I direct love and light towards myself and others. So just allow those words to completely fill your being and allow them to set the tone for the practice. Think about that loving energy that you create in your poses and how the poses are just there as a tool to help us to find that inner stillness, that inner love that we're looking for, that we're returning to. Okay, so now just gently sealing off those affirmations, but keep them at the back of your mind and maybe remind yourselves of those throughout the class. When you're ready, just gently opening your eyes now. As you open your eyes, very gently, just draw your knees in towards your chest, and then from here, you're going to bring yourselves into a child's pose, so balasana. So just sitting back on the heels now. Draw your navel in towards the spine. Take a deep inhale here now. And then exhale very gently. Start to fold forward, just bringing your forehead down to the ground. And if you so wish, if you have any pillows or cushions about, you can even bring your forehead onto the cushion if that's more comfortable for you. You can have your arms either side here for a moment. And just know that you can come into this pose at any time throughout the practice, and whenever you need to rest. See if you can breathe in and out of the nostrils as well throughout the class if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Just breathe just normally in and out through the mouth if that is more preferable to you. But the aim is to work towards the nostrils. So whilst you're here, just noticing all points of contact against the ground. Noticing the gentle stretch across the back here as well. And see if you can connect with the breath and the body. Just taking another moment here just to allow yourself to really melt into the ground here. And then when you're ready, I want you to slide, if you haven't got your arms forward already, slide your arms forward on the front and the back now. Just gently starting to just stretch those shoulders out a little bit. Taking an exhale, I want you to walk your hands over towards the left now. So you're bringing your weight onto your left knee and then really stretch out through that right hand there. So you feel really nice stretch down the right hand side of the torso here. Nice couple of breaths evenly. And then inhale, slowly walking your arms back through to center. And then exhale, walk your arms over to bring your weight to your torso over that right knee. Really stretching out through that right arm here. So you feel nice stretch down the left hand side of the torso here as well. Okay, inhale, walk your hands back through to center. And then I want you to lift your bottom off your heels. And I want you to bring your knees hip distance apart here and just lining up the hips with the knees as well. Now just keep walking your hands forward here, shoulder distance apart. And then as you exhale, on your next exhale, maybe just start to drop the forehead towards the ground here, coming into our puppy pose. So again, we're really opening up the chest space here, the heart space. Notice how this feels for the shoulders. This can be quite strong on the shoulders. If you walk the hands a little bit wider here, that can release any sort of tightness that you may be feeling this on the upper back as well. But just breathe easily and deeply. Breathe into the pose. Allow the heart to go a little bit closer towards the ground. Nice and steady here. Exhale and gently now on your next exhale, lower your belly down to the ground. So you're sliding that belly and your pelvis down. So now just lining up your shoulders in line with your elbows and lift your chest up. You're pointing your toes into the corners of the mat here, coming into a Sphinx pose. So everyone's spines and backs are different here. Now, if you notice you're feeling a bit of pinching in the spine here, you can just slide the elbows forward a little bit more and just drop your chest a little bit closer towards the ground. So yoga is all about tuning in and listening to your body, so finding what feels good for you. Taking an exhale, now look over the left shoulder. Inhale, bring the left heel towards the left buttock. Just getting a little bit of a quad stretch here. Now again, on your next exhale, ground down through that right hand and then take your left hand to your left foot and see if you can just draw the heel a little bit closer here now. So keep your pelvis pushed down on the ground, but you're just gently twisting the spine a little bit here now. Remember to breathe evenly and deeply. And then very slowly exhale, release that leg down. Inhale, come back through to center. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, bring that right heel in towards the right cheek buttock. Okay, round down through the left hand. Exhale, bring the right hand to the right foot and just draw that foot a little bit closer now towards your glute. Keep breathing evenly and deeply here. And then very slowly exhale, release the foot. Inhale, bring your gaze back through to center. And then take an exhale. And then on your next inhale, just lift your torso up now into a tabletop. Now in a tabletop, let's just give those wrists a little bit of a stretch here. So just bring your hands to 90 degrees and just lift one palm at a time. Maybe bringing the hands forward as well. And then dropping the tops of the hands down onto the ground as well. So you're just giving those carpal tunnels a little bit of a stretch here. And then back through to center. I just want you to tuck your toes in here as well, but let's not neglect the feet. And then just push your hips, your pelvis just a little bit towards those toes. So just giving those feet a nice stretch here. Really grounding down through that big toe. And then coming back through to center. Let's just give that spine a nice little bit of movement as well. So coming into cat-cow sequence. So take an inhale, lift the chest, tilt the head back, drop the belly, cow, inhale. Exhale, start to round the back, draw the navel in towards the spine, drop the crown of the head. Inhale back through into your cow, arch that back, drop the belly. Exhale, round the back, draw the navel in towards the spine. Inhale, arch into cow. Exhale, round the cow. Taking a few more of those movements on your own. Synchronize it with the breath. Just enjoying the movement and making the movement as nice and steady as is needed for you. And then gently just coming back through to center here. Then as we come back through to center, again, just making sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, shoulder distance apart. Take an inhale, raise the left arm up into the sky, look up to the left hand here. And then exhale, thread it through, let it hover. Inhale, raise it back up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, back up. Exhale, thread it through, drop the left shoulder and the left cheek to the ground. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me from this side. Okay, so you can stay here. So we're just gently twisting and gently compressing the shoulder and the pec here, but also twisting in the spine. So you can just have your right hand here underneath your right shoulder, or you can take an inhale, raising that right arm up into the sky. That's your second option. Option 3, exhale, reaching that arm overhead, dropping the palm down to the ground, just pressing your armpit a little bit closer towards the ground here.
Your fourth and final option, you can either stay here, just enjoying this stretch on the rotator cuff and the deltoid muscle, or you can take an exhale, bring that right arm behind you, round your back, wrap it round your back, and maybe even take hold of your left thigh here. So just taking another moment or two, breathing evenly and deeply, and remember just to keep connecting with the breath. Keep connecting with all points of contact against the ground as well. Feel the pose. Feel the openness in the body, which is what we're aiming for. And then just gently exhaling, just releasing that right hand just back down to the ground. And then inhale, pushing yourself back up into your tabletop. Okay, so other side now. Again, just maintaining that neutral position in your tabletop. Taking an inhale, raising the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through under the chest, let it hover. Inhale back up. Exhale, thread it through, let it hover. Inhale back up. Exhale, thread it through, drop the right shoulder and the right cheek to the ground here again, noticing the compression of the shoulder, the right shoulder and the right pec here. Keep breathing evenly and deep. You can stay here with your left hand roughly underneath your left shoulder. Next option, take an inhale, raise that left arm up to the sky. Stay here. Third option, exhale, bring the arm all the way overhead, then drop the palm down to the ground. And then just press the armpits a little bit closer to the ground here. So you really start to feel that opening in the shoulder joint area. Fourth and final option. Remember, you're just picking one that's most suitable to you. Exhale, bring that left arm behind you, wrap it around your back, and maybe taking hold of the the right thigh. So on this positioning here, we're internally rotating the shoulder. Take a couple of steady breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Just gently exhale, release that left hand down to the ground. And then inhale, push yourself back up into your tabletop. Now in your tabletop, move your hands to the top of the mat, bring them shoulder distance apart here. Spread the weight, spread the fingers nice and wide. We're coming into our first downward dog. So imagine you've got a bit of suction going on between the mat and the palms essentially. I want you to tuck your back toes in. Now as you tuck your back toes in, so ground down into the hands. So imagine that you're drawing energy from the mat up through the hands. On your next exhale, start to lift those knees and push the thighs up and back here. The heels one at a time. Create length in the spine if you can. Just push the chest away from the wrists if you can. And just bring the feet hip distance apart as well here. Now just come into a center point here, bring a nice bend in the knees again, and that just allows you just to lift your hips a little bit higher. And we don't need to worry about bringing the heels to the ground, that's not our priority. Tuck your chin in, take an inhale, raise the right leg up high into the sky, as high as you can. Exhale, swing that leg as far forward as you can, create momentum, bring the knee as close towards your chest. And maybe kick that foot forward in between the hands. You're framing that front foot, coming into an Anjanasana, a low lunge. I'm just going to take my jumper off here. So as you come into your low lunge, you're just framing that front foot here. Just take a couple of pulses. So just breathing evenly and deeply, just drawing the hips backwards and forwards. Okay. And then just coming back through to a center point where the kneecap and the ankle are roughly aligned here. Just for a moment, just drop the left hand down into the ground and then take an inhale, stretch that right arm up to the sky. Maybe exhale, reach towards the back of the room with
that right hand, reach, reach, reach. Inhale back up. Exhale, reach. Inhale back up. Exhale, reach. Inhale up, and then exhale, release that hand all the way back down to the ground. Okay, so as you come back to your center point, I just want you to draw your hips up a little bit. So you draw the navel in, engage the glutes, squeeze the core if you can, and exhale, lift your torso up so it stacks on top of the hips here. Now with control, take an inhale, raise both your arms in line with the shoulders, reach towards the sky, nice stretch through the side body here, and then exhale, cactus those arms, you bring the shoulder blades onto the back of the rib cage. Inhale, raise those arms up to the sky. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, raise. Exhale, cactus. Release those arms either side, interlock your hands behind your back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, really open up the chest space. So just take an inhale here, and just ever so slightly, just tilt the head back just a tiny little bit here. Really feel that opening. So as you open up your heart space, just allow yourself just to release any anxious energy that you may be holding on to. So just breathe in and out through the nose here. And then very slowly, when you're ready, just exhaling, releasing the interlocking of the hands. Frame that front foot. Now, for those of you that do like to practice a lot of yoga, you can take an inhale, lift that left knee off the ground, and then bring the right foot to meet the left foot to bring yourselves into a downward dog. Alternatively, you can bring your right knee to meet your left knee, coming back into your tabletop, and then we're going to move into a downward dog. So taking an exhale, now lift those knees back and up. So again, just pedaling those knees, heels hip distance apart. Again, pushing the mat away from your hands, lengthen through the spine, bring a good bend in the knees again now after you've pedaled your feet enough, which just allows you to stretch out through the hamstrings. Take a couple of deep breaths, so inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now inhale, raise the left leg up high into the sky, as high as you can. Exhale, swing that leg through as far as you can with momentum, kick it in between the hands, dropping the right knee to the ground here, coming into our low lunge again. So in our low lunge, we just want to line up the kneecap and the ankle here, and we are pushing the hips forward, backwards and forward. So let's just take a couple of little pulses here. So if this is really uncomfortable for you with your fingers tips on the ground, you can just bring your hands onto your knee as well. Apologies, I didn't offer you that option on the other side. That is an option that you can use if you so need it, if that's nice on your spine. Okay, so then coming back through to center weight, just lining up the kneecap and the ankle. So just dropping that right hand down to the ground here, and then inhale, raising that left arm up to the sky. So you've got a bit of a gentle twist in the spine here. Inhale, and then exhale, reach towards the back of the room. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reach towards the back of the room. Inhale, back up. Let's do one more of those. Exhale, reach. Inhale, back up. And then exhale, frame that front foot with that other hand. Okay, back into our low lunge, Anjanasana, runner's lunge. So coming back to a center point, so you're just ever so slightly lifting those hips just a tiny little bit. Draw that navel in, and then exhale, squeeze those glutes, lift your torso up so it stacks over the top of the hips without using your arms essentially. Okay, so just take an inhale, raise those arms up into the thighs, nice side stretch through the body, keep that leg active and engaged, and then exhale, cactus those arms. Inhale, raise, exhale, cactus. Inhale, raise, exhale, cactus. One more. Inhale, raise, exhale, release those arms down, interlock the hands behind your back, squeeze the shoulder blades together,
Gently take an inhale, just tilt your head back, the chest back just a tiny little bit. Keep those glutes squeezed as well. If you draw the navel in as well, that can help to protect your lower back as well. Just opening up the chest space here. A couple of breaths here. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, so just coming inhale, coming back through to center. Release those hands. Frame that front foot. Inhale, lift the right knee off the ground. Exhale, right foot to meet the left foot, bending the knees here, coming into a forward fold Uttanasana. So just bringing your palms in front of you here. So bringing that bend in the knees just allows you to release the lower back. Take an inhale now, bring your hands onto your knees and then lengthen through the legs and lengthen through the back. So just stretching out those hamstrings here, which is just a nice counter pose to those low lunges we've been doing. Again, exhale, bend those knees, drop your hands towards the ground, and they can be in front of your feet here. Again, inhale, halfway lift, hands on the knees, lengthen through the back. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana again. And this time on your next inhale, you're going to inhale and circle sweep those arms up into the sky, overhead, palms together. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center here. So just coming into a Pramanasana, prayer pose here. Just taking a moment just to ground down through the feet. And just reminding yourself of the space that you're in, feeling the earth beneath you. Take an inhale, circle sweep those arms up into the sky, gathering that light and energy of the new season, palms together. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up overhead, palms together. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do another one. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up together overhead. This time, interlock your hands. Oh, apologies, I don't think you can quite see my screen. You'll interlock your hands, and then I want you to push your palms up towards the ceiling. So you're still stretching through the side body. And then on your exhale, I want you to lift your heels off the ground. So you're just coming onto the balls of your feet. Keep grounding down through those big toes here. So just balancing on the balls, you know, like the way you sometimes see ballerinas do. Just taking a couple of breaths here, nice and steady. See if you can hold this with control. And then exhale, slowly release the arms and then release those heels back down. Let's do one more. Inhale, raise those arms up into the sky, interlock the hands, interlock the fingers, and then exhale, push those palms up and then lift again onto the balls of the feet. So really try and ground down into the big toes. Just see how we're strengthening through the legs here. Keep breathing. And then exhale, release those arms and then release the heels all the way down. Well done, everyone. Now from here, come at the top of your mat, coming into our starting stance, Tadasana. So you can have your feet together here, then just bring your palms either onto the thighs or just facing the front of them, and just roll those shoulders back and down here, tuck the tailbone in here. And again, just taking a moment again to ground yourselves, bring yourself to this present moment, feel the body, feel the breath. And then on your next inhale, I want you to step your left foot back about 4 or 5 feet. So taking quite a wide stance and moving into our warrior 2 here. So I just want you to turn your your left hip bone in ever so slightly towards the midline of the mat. Your left foot is facing the long edge of your mat, so roughly 9 o'clock. Your right foot is at 12 o'clock. So your shoulders are over your heart is over your hips. Take an inhale, raise both your arms in line with the shoulders here. Check the back arm, which is your left hand, and then the front arm, just to check for that alignment. So just gazing to your right hand now.
Draw that navel in, so your shoulders are nice and broad here. Take an exhale, start to bring a right angle now into that front leg, the right leg, sorry. So your right big toe is just to the left of your kneecap. Strong warrior two. So just imagine you've got a bit of invisible force pressing down on the arms and up. Take an inhale, raise the right arm up to the sky, drop the left palm onto your thigh. Keep that right angle in that front leg. Graceful warrior. Exhale, bring those arms back through to center. Inhale, raising that arm up to the sky again into your graceful warrior. Back through to center. Warrior two. One more time. Graceful warrior. And then back through to center. And then just straighten through that front leg, the left leg here now. And then again, raise those arms again back through to shoulder height. But this time, instead of the palms facing down, the palms are facing the direction your chest is in. So you can have an ever so slight micro bend in that front knee. Moving into our Trikonasana, our triangle pose. So just exhale, start to reach forward with the right hand, pushing the left hip back. They keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Either going to bring the hand onto your thigh, onto your calf, or onto the ankle. And then inhale, raising that left arm up into the sky. So you just want to align the shoulders here, stack the shoulders, maybe bringing your gaze to that top hand as well here. Feeling a really nice stretch down the left-hand side of the torso here. So if you find that you're rounding your back quite a bit, you're rounding that left arm, just bring the right arm a little bit further up the leg, because you just want to imagine that your shoulders are just pressed against a wall here. Think about that alignment. So just a couple of breaths here. Okay. And then when you're ready, very slowly inhaling, coming back through to center. And then exhale, release those arms down. Inhale, step the left foot to meet the right foot at the top of your mat. As you step the right foot to meet, as you step the left foot to meet the right foot, I want you to start grinding down through your right foot. We're going to take a balancing pose now. So I'm just sequencing us through on one side, and then we'll switch onto the other side. So micro bend in your left, your right knee here. So I'm just mirroring you guys. Bringing both your hands onto your hips to begin with. Just lift your left heel off the ground here. So this can be your option one. You can stay here if this is as far as you're going to go. And just noticing if the weight is evenly spread across the right foot here. Now, take an inhale, start to lift the left foot off the ground. So you're pointing that knee towards the ground. Now, that's your next option. Keep breathing, keep focusing. Can you, as your third option, can you take hold of the ankle now? Keep pointing that knee towards the ground. Then, maybe taking an inhale and raising your your right arm in line with the right shoulder here. So I'll just show you from the side. So this is how it'll be from the side. Okay. So we've just come into a variation of dancer pose. If you want to go a little bit deeper, see if you can start to lift that knee a little bit further up. So you're kicking that foot into the hand. So as you start to lift the knee, you'll notice your torso starts to tilt forward. But can you keep the torso up and lifted? So we're coming into a bit of a back bend here. So just keep going as far as is comfortable for you. Otherwise, just staying in that first position that you were in, where you've just maybe got the ankle and you've got your hands just in line with the shoulder, or you're just here. Wherever you are, that's okay. And very slowly, wherever you are, release the arm down, exhale, and the foot, and then just give those legs a nice shake here. Then coming back to the top of your mat, just into your Tadasana mountain pose, or you can have your hands at heart center in prayer. Again, just taking a moment to gather your thoughts, connecting with the breath, and just noticing if there is any judgment that is passing from the mind. And if there is any judgment, can you send love and kindness to the judgment? So from here, take an inhale, step the right foot back about 4 or 5 feet. So I'll just show you, demonstrate from this side. So I'll be facing you on the camera. Now, stepping that right foot back about 4 or 5 feet. The right foot is now facing the long edge of the mat at your 3 o'clock, and your left foot is going to be at 12 o'clock. Turning that right hip bone in just a little bit so it faces the midline of the mat. And the reason we do this, and that is just to protect the hip joint areas. Okay, so taking an inhale, raise both arms in line with the shoulders, preparing for our warrior 2 pose. So draw that navel in, the chest is nice and lifted. Check the back hand, which is the right hand, and then the front hand, bringing your gaze to that middle finger. Remember to ground down through the feet. We're drawing up energy from the ground up all the time in yoga. On your next exhale, start to bring a right angle now into that left leg. So the kneecap and the ankle are aligned here. Just check that your left big toe is just to the right of the kneecap. Warrior 2. Imagine you've got a bit of an invisible force, just pressing with the arms up and down. So the arms and the shoulders are nice and strong here. Taking an inhale, raise that left arm up to the sky, drop the right hand onto the thigh. Keep that right angle in that left front leg. And then exhale back through into our warrior 2. Inhale, raising that arm up into the sky. Exhale back through into our warrior 2. Inhale, raising that arm up into the sky. Exhale, warrior 2. And then release the arm straight and through that front leg here, just to give that leg a little bit of a rest. Now, the hips can be a little bit more square on in our triangle pose here. So just inhale, raise both arms in line with the shoulders. Again, this time palms are facing the direction your chest is into. So you can have a micro bend in your knee. As you can see with my leg here, it's in full lock. And basically, sometimes when the leg is in full lock, it can create hyperextension. I hyperextend my limbs here. But if you have a gentle, ever so slight micro bend in the knee, it just allows you just to work the muscles around the legs a little bit more. Now, take an exhale, reach forward with that left hand as far as you can, pushing the right hip back here. Reach, and bring that left hand onto the thigh, onto the calf, onto the ankle, or even onto the ground. And then maybe inhale, raising that right arm up into the sky, looking up to the right hand here. So just taking a couple of breaths here, nice and steady. Just imagine you've got your shoulders pressed against a wall. And again, if you're rounding, if you can't quite reach that arm up to the sky and you find that your spine is rounding over a bit, can you just bring that left arm a little bit higher up the leg here? So you've still got that stacking of the shoulders and you're still creating that length in the body. So just finding a position that works nice for you. Okay, and then when you're ready, very slowly inhale, raising yourself back up to the center. Exhale, just releasing those arms. Inhale, step the right foot to meet the left foot at the top of your mat. Now grounding down through your left foot now, staying at the top of the mat, or wherever is most comfortable for you. Micro bend into the left knee, hands on your hips. Take an inhale, lift that right foot off the ground and start to point just the kneecap towards the ground here. So this is your option 1. Or if that's too much, you can just have that foot just slightly hovering off the ground, just working with what feels right for you this evening. Next option, taking hold of the foot with your right hand now. Okay, that's it. So keep pointing that knee towards the ground. And then with your left hand, take an inhale, raise it up in line with the shoulders. So this is your next option that you're going to work with. And you're just going to be here Just breathing with the body, feeling the body, noticing all the tiny little movements your foot is having to make. Or if you want to go a little bit deeper now, you want to go a little bit deeper, again, you can just start to lift that knee a little bit higher, as high as is comfortable for you, and then keep your chest lifted. So it's adding a back bend into this balance here. Keep breathing evenly and deeply. Grounding down through that foot, strengthening that leg. Breathe. And then exhale, gently releasing that arm down. And then gently releasing the leg down as well. And then just give those legs a nice shake here. Okay, and then from here, very slowly now, just lower yourselves now down into a squat. So if you can squat, if you can have the whole of the sole of the foot down, great. If not, you can just come onto the balls of the feet here. So your feet are roughly going to be more than sitting bone distance apart. Bring the palms together. And then exhale, push the elbows into the inner knees now. Lengthen through the spine here. So just working with what feels good for you. Just coming into our Malasana, our garland pose. So this is just opening up the hips a little bit. Just releasing the spine. Take a couple of breaths here, nice and steady. And then exhale, just gently releasing the hands and just sit down on your bottom. And then just hug your knees in towards your chest here. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Okay, so from here, coming onto your knees. Now, as you come onto your knees, I just want you to push the tops of your feet now into the ground here. And then just bring your hands onto the small of your back. So I want you to tuck your tailbone in, squeeze your glutes. Keep that belly tucked in at the same time. Start to push the hips forward a little bit, but maintain an activation of the core. And then just gently tilt the head back a little bit. So what we're here, we're just doing another gentle back bend just to open up that heart space. So again, keep squeezing the glutes, use the core, push the hips forward here. Open up your chest. Just taking a couple of breaths here, nice and steady. So I'll just count us through. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, very gently inhaling, coming back through to center, nice and steady. So if you felt any pinching there, just meant you went a bit too far. So just coming up a bit, and then exhale, just sitting back onto your heels here. Let's just take a child's pose. It's a really nice counter pose just to release that spine here. So just gently folding forward, exhaling as you do so. Just taking a couple of nice breaths here. Again, just connecting the mind, the body, and the breath here. And just noticing again if the mind is wandering, if there's any judgment that has passed, if there is any judgment, just gently let it go, send love and kindness, and just return back to the breath. And just know that that is what the mind does, but that doesn't mean that the mind defines who we are in this moment. Taking an inhale, gently coming back through up to center. Exhale to center. Now, sitting on your bottom here, just extending your right leg out and then bringing the sole of your left foot onto your right thigh. Can you just drop that left knee towards the ground here? Now, just checking that both your sitting bones are on the ground, coming into our Janu Sirsasana. So we've just come from our camel pose. So from here, just gently, ever so slightly, just twisting the torso a little bit so it faces the length of your leg now. Flex the feet of that right foot, so you're actively engaging that right leg. Sitting nice and tall, see if you can arch the back now, lower back here. So inhale, raise your arms up into the sky. And then on your exhale, I want you to start folding forward. Keep the length in the back here. So just we're working on stretching out the hamstrings here. So you're either going to bring your hands either side of the calf, or you're going to take hold of the foot. And then just gently stretching out the shoulders here, stretching out the hamstrings. So I'll just show you from the side. Okay. So just keep the length in your neck as well. So don't let the back round too much, as you can see here. Keep that length here. Nice stretch through the hamstring. Couple of breaths here, nice and steady. And then on your next inhale, when you're ready, raise those arms up into the sky. And then exhale, release the arms down. Switching sides. So extending that left leg out, bringing the sole of the right foot against the left inner thigh here. And again, just seeing how far you can drop that knee to the ground. And then just take a gentle micro twist of the torso so it just faces the length of the left leg here, and then flexing the foot, that foot. Okay, so just sitting nice and tall. Take an inhale, raise those arms in line with the shoulders and lengthen through the spine here. And then exhale, start to fold forward. So you're going to have your hands either side of the calf or maybe on the toes. And then again, keep that length in your spine. Just working on stretching those shoulders a bit here alongside the hamstring and the calf. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, very slowly with control, inhale, raising those arms back up, raise the torso. And then exhale, just release those arms down to the sides. Now from here, gently with control, just lower your torso down onto the ground here. And then just bring your heels close in towards your bottom, just coming into preparation for a bridge pose, Satyabandha Sarvangasana. So palms are just either side of your legs here. And then the legs are nice and parallel. Take an inhale now, start to lift the pelvis. Squeeze the glutes at the same time. So lift as high as you can. On your next exhale, roll those shoulders under, interlock your hands. And then keep lifting the pelvis. So engage the thighs as well whilst you're here. Breathing into the belly space. Just breathing evenly and deeply. Just taking a few more breaths here. Enjoying this back bend. And then very slowly with control, coming down one vertebrae by vertebrae, exhaling as you come down, gently lower the pelvis and the spine, slowly down with control. Coming all the way down to the ground here. As you come down to the ground, take an inhale, just hug the knees in towards the chest, and then just gently just roll out your back here, the lower back as well, if you're feeling any tightness there. And maybe taking an inhale, bring your forehead towards your knees. Hug the body, smile through the body. And then exhale, just releasing the head down to the ground. Taking a final pose now, just raising the legs up, taking hold of the outer edges of the feet, and then draw the knees a little bit closer towards you. Can you keep the shoulders down? Can you lengthen through the tailbone now? And then maybe just stretching one leg out at a time whilst you're here, happy baby pose. And then finally, just releasing everything all the way down to
the groin here. So just extending your legs out. And then just gently let the feet flop out to the side. You can have your arms either side, palm facing out, or if you want to keep your hands on your belly, that's fine too. And just gently closing your eyes. As you close your eyes, let's come back to that place that we were in at the start of the class. And again, just reminding yourself of the space, the environment that you're in. And then coming back to the whole body. Just noticing all points of contact, the feet, the back of the heels, the calves, thighs, the glutes, the back, the shoulders, the elbows, the back of the head. How does the whole body feel now compared to the start of the class? So just taking a little moment just to observe. And if you're noticing any sort of remaining tension in your body now or in the mind, can you take a deep inhale through the nose and send that breath down to the tension, and then exhale all out now. Deep inhale through the nose, send it into the tension, and then exhale all out. One time, deep inhale, send that breath down into the tension, and then exhale it all out. And just allow yourselves now just to completely sink into the ground, sink into the mat. Use these last few moments of quiet time just to sit with the breath, sit with the stillness that's been created throughout our yoga practice. Enjoy the moment of quiet time. Just keeping yourselves in a comfortable Shavasana position. I'm just going to remind you of those affirmations we set at the start of the class. Taking your awareness to your heart space, again visualizing a glowing ball of green energy that's pulsating and expanding. I release and let go of all resentment. I live in harmony with all beings. I direct love and light towards myself and others. I release and let go of all resentment. I live in harmony with all beings. I direct love and light towards myself and others. I release and let go of all resentment. I live in harmony with all beings. I direct love and light towards myself and others. So as you say those words to yourself, feel that openness coming from the heart space, from the heart chakra, the anahata. Filling your entire being and maybe expanding outside of your body to your environment. Allow it to set the tone for the rest of the week. When you're ready, just gently releasing and letting go of those affirmations. Coming back to the mind, the body and the breath. Just thanking yourselves for practicing yoga this evening, taking the time out for you to find that beauty within. Slowly start to wriggle the fingers, toes, rotating the wrists, rotating the ankle, stretching the arms overhead, stretching the legs, pointing the toes, full body stretch. And then when you're ready, just gently rolling yourselves onto your right hand side into the recovery position, using one arm as a pillow and just taking a moment here. And when you're ready, gently inhale, just pushing yourself up into a Sukhasana, easy. Crossing the legs, lengthening through the spine, nice and tall, just gently tucking your chin and keep your eyes closed. Then bring your palms together, rub the palms, creating energy. And then bring those palms over your face, feeling that warmth, feeling that energy. Gently opening your eyes, gazing into the darkness of the hands, gazing into stillness. Also gazing into love. Bringing your hands to heart center. Namaste, and thank you for practicing with me. Take care, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll see you.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much, Lizzie.
Thank you.
Good night.